Hi, Megan. It's nice to see you again.
Hi.
So before we get started, I'm going to go over the professional disclosure statement again, just so there's clarity again. And once again, if there's any questions, feel free to ask me at the end or to pause me anytime to just ask me questions. So I am a graduate student working toward the completion of a master's degree in professional counseling. I am currently practicing counseling techniques, and therefore we're recording our session, but only my professor and classmates will see the tape. The recording will be destroyed at the end of the semester. Likewise, you should know that there are some limitations to my counseling. Please note that it is not possible to guarantee any specific results regarding your counseling goals. However, together we will work to achieve the best possible results for you. So first thing we're going to go over are the client rights. So it is your right anytime to inquire about the processes and procedures being used during the counseling relationship. You have the right to refuse or request any changes to any of my suggestions. And if at any time you are not satisfied with my services for any reason, you can inform me or my supervisor, Dr. Frederick, which you already have her contact information from previous sessions. Once you have begun counseling with me, there's no obligation to continue. You have the right to discontinue at any time. They'll ask that you participate in a termination session. Should you desire referral to another therapist, I will provide you with one. Which, with that being said, I do want to remind you this is our last session, and we will discuss that more towards the end of the session after we discussed other things. My services are run in a professional manner, consistent with the ethical standards of the American Counseling Association. If you have a complaint concerning malpractice, this can be reported to my supervisor, Dr. Frederick. Any questions about your rights?
No.
Okay, last thing, confidentiality. Everything we discuss in sessions will be kept confidential except if I determine you're an imminent danger to yourself or others, if you report child and elder abuse or neglect, if your records are subpoenaed by a court of law, if you disclose sexual contact with a mental health provider with whom you've had a professional relationship with, if information is required by your contract provider, so HMO, insurance companies, etc., if I am directed by you in writing to disclose information to someone of your choosing, or if you bring a malpractice suit against me. Any question about confidentiality? Okay. You are also at the session may be recorded. This recording is for the benefit of my evaluation, and if recorded, will only be viewed by my instructor and classmates. And this recording will be destroyed upon the completion of this course. And you have signed below. You have signed indicating that you have read, understand, and agree to this agreement. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. So to start us off, we're gonna go ahead and follow up on your homework. Um, so we're just gonna go ahead. Which one would you like to discuss?
The anxious thoughts homework.
Okay, so you have that sheet in front of you, and I have one in front of me, so I can kind of follow along with you. So the first thing is, describe a common situation that triggers your anxiety. Which would you like to describe what you put down for me?
Yes. So, um, the common one that's been happening lately is there's been a lot of deer at my job, and so the anxiety part is if one of them will like run in front of me while I was driving.
Okay, so kind of just sum that up. It's just seeing the deer and then scared that you might hit one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so after that, so we described that, and then of course this worksheet says, that, you know, the anxiety distorts but our thinking because the overestimating the likelihood of something going wrong. So so the next part says you imagine you're faced with the anxiety produced situation, which would be your seeing the deer at work and your fear of hitting them. So what would be the worst outcome in that kind of situation if you're faced with it?
Me actually hitting the deer, or the deer hitting me.
The deer hitting you, so like jumping out in front of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is the best outcome in that situation if you're faced with seeing the deer at work?
The deer just staying where they're at and just staying off the road.
Okay. And then what is the likely outcome if you're faced with seeing the deer at work?
Um, it's very high. There's always deer, especially with this cold weather.
Okay. And what would be the likely outcome if you saw them? Like what would happen in that situation?
Oh, right, right. Um, The outcome would be the likely outcome would just be just going slow and steady down the road and just watching out for their movements.
Okay. See, that's more likely, and that's a little more reasonable. You can't stop the whole world just because you see a deer. So, imagine that the worst outcome comes true. So for you, you wrote on your paper and you told me that that would be, hitting the deer. So would that still matter 1 week from now if it happened today? Would it happen?
Yes.
Would it matter 1 month from now?
Yes.
What about a year from now?
No.
Okay. So you say 1 month from now. Why do you think that it would still matter a month from then?
I think it matters from a month from then because we have to go through the process of so if you hit the deer, first of all, you might, depending how you hit the deer or which deer you hit, I mean, it could just cause a little bit of damage, or you have to get like a whole new vehicle. And so that can just be a process. So depending on how much you're reminded of that situation, it can last for a month from now.
Okay, that's good. So not really the situation itself, more of
The aftermath.
the aftermath of it. Okay. So, we talked about, anxious thoughts, focusing on those worst possible outcomes. So,
Mhm.
of course, I know you have the other homework assignment, which, focuses on, that anxiety producing thought and then, having a counter statement for that thought. So, of course, your worst possible outcome is going to give you this real rational thought, and your likely outcome, you're going to have more of a rational thought. So when it comes to that, using your own worst outcome, which was hitting the deer, and your likely outcome was, just, driving slow. If they move, stop, let them cross kind of thing, I guess. From above, describe your irrational thought, which is what's your worst outcome. So what would your rational thought be in that instance?
My irrational, my rational.
You're irrational.
Irrational, not driving anymore.
Okay. And then your rational thought would be, which is from your likely
Um,
outcome, which is, the driving slow, just, if they move, we're gonna stop, let them cross kind of thing.
the rational thought would be um if it happens kind of thing.
Okay. Which seems a little reasonable. You
You
can't
can't
change
stop
it
it.
after it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you did really good with that. So along with that, I just kind of want to discuss some of the other things we taught you. So like your breathing exercises, were there any instances from last session to this session where you use those exercises, in school, at work, just in
Um,
general?
I've definitely done it with the deer and stuff, just being terrified that they'll run in front of me. Definitely had to use the breathing exercises then.
Mhm.
But I haven't had too many stressful situations to use it. It's kind of life has been like kind of slowing down surprisingly with the holidays and stuff. So
Okay, that's good. So moving on, I'm gonna bring up a new method. Um, I know this is our last session, but we have discussed doing a follow-up, so this is kind of where I wanted to do that. So let's call it stop and monitor. So you're either going to be wearing something or have something around that's just a reminder of, let me write down, um, my thoughts or anything that like anxiety producing, kind of how you know, grew from that or how you stopped yourself or anything that you might have used, kind of thing. So, for example, a good one would be, like, oh, I'm gonna wear a rubber band, and anytime I touch the rubber band, I need to, it's kind of a reminder of, oh, let me write down, my thoughts or, something like that. And it can be, sometimes we're gonna have ups, sometimes we're gonna have downs. So, um, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So, we're gonna have that thing that reminds us, you know, okay, like you might carry a journal around. It doesn't have to be a big journal, it can be a small journal. Just kind of, just tell yourself that, oh, I'm gonna write down my thoughts, my feelings, and and it always won't be, a progress thing, but part of progress is, having those bad days too, because we're not always gonna have perfect days. So, um, just if you have, or it doesn't have to be something you can wear, it can be something just like having around the house kind of thing. So, having something by the door before you leave for work or leaving for class or coming home or whatever, having something there like your journal right there, like, have like a little table or something and have your journal right there. Oh, my journal's right there. Let me write, my thoughts in the days or my thoughts, from this morning before I go out kind of thing. And stuff like that. And of course, you're gonna want to date it just so you can keep update, on the dates and stuff like that when we discuss it again. Um, so for you, what would you think would work for you? Like, would you wear something? Would you have it like, laying around the house? What would work for you?
Probably something laying around the house. So if I look at it while I'm doing something,
Okay,
um,
so do you have an example of what that could be, or maybe, what you would do, what you are going to do after we end the
um,
session?
I'll probably just put it out, probably like on my counter or something.
A journal or something else? It
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
have
a
to.
journal. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't have to be journals. That's what I was just saying. Some people sit there and they have a white piece of paper, you know, next to television or taped onto television that reminds them, oh, I gotta go write on my journal before I even watch TV kind of thing. So it can be whatever. Um, that's awesome. So like I said, it's just something for you to kind of, keep track of, your thoughts, your feelings, anything, I mean, reduce anything that, relates to your anxiety. It doesn't have to be related to your anxiety. You can just put, I'm having a great day, woke up feeling good kind of thing. So it's just for, it's just to give you time to stop and monitor how you're feeling, what you're thinking, that kind of stuff like that, to give you time to kind of just like process everything that's kind of going on within yourself. So that's awesome. So that was what we talked about. It was kind of quick and easy. Um, so like I said earlier, this is our last session. So our termination session. So this is just some stuff I want to talk to you about. Gives you time to, talk to me about how you're feeling about things. So I guess the first thing I do want to bring up is when it comes to us ending, how do you feel progress-wise with your, anxiety and
I
the thoughts that
definitely
you
think I've gotten better. Your methods have been working.
have? Okay. Do you know which one in particular has been working for you quite well?
I think a little bit of all of them.
Okay. That's good. That's good to hear from my part. So when it comes to, us ending, I know I'm a little sad, but you're going on, you made your progress. You told me you're making some progress. That's good to hear. When it comes to you, what are your thoughts and feelings about about the counseling ending, the process ending?
It's definitely sad. Um, I mean, but I can go off and do other things.
That's good. Um, so more about that. Um, I guess just kind of like from starting counseling to now, I know you were nervous when we first started to now. Um, I guess just, I was gonna say give me an example, but you kind of gave me an example with the deers earlier. You see deers at work, you take your deep breaths, which is amazing. So that shows me that you're already making progress. You're taking a daily situation that you do, and you just kind of remind yourself, I'm gonna take these deep breaths. I'm gonna, just kind of center myself before I keep going on with the day, which is really good. Um, what about your thoughts on it? Do you have any like thoughts on it? I mean, I know you said you feel sad. Do you have any thoughts about ending? Do you think you might continue elsewhere? Do you think you might just try going to a group? What about any of that?
I think I might try a different therapist maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. And just for my reasons, just to make sure I'm doing everything right, is seeing a different therapist just due to wanting to try to get a different opinion? Was it anything I did?
Just get a different opinion.
Okay, that works. That's fine. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable anyway. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing anything wrong or I made you uncomfortable in any way. So, I guess then after that, so once we end, you're always more than welcome to contact me related to, counseling stuff. You are my client, so I would like to just try to keep things professional. So if you do ever try to if you do ever do need to contact me, I would like it to just kind of, be, for counseling stuff only. If you do see different therapists and if they do need your notes, just let them know you have my contact information. You can give them to me. I'll be more than willing to give them any notes that I have, along with any progress that you made. So also with that, um, you know, if you need anything from me, your notes or anything, if you would like to see anything, I would be more than willing to discuss those with you as well. You can just go ahead and call. So, you know, this is just like anything else ending, graduating from school, um, you know, leaving a job, it's that kind of stuff. It's always going to be kind of bittersweet. So, um, bitter in the part that, something's ending, sweet in the part that, you made progress, you're moving on, you've done good. So, going on with that, like I said earlier, we did discuss meeting up 3 months after you ending. That's why I kind of gave you the stop and monitor. So if you can just try to keep up with the journal, with your thoughts and your feelings, just monitoring yourself, that would be amazing. Um, and then we can meet up in 3 months if you want to push it back, make it a little bit sooner. That's up to you, or do you think 3 months is pretty good?
3 months is pretty good.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. I will go ahead and send you an email with the date. And something, something that has more, just kind of like a paper describing more about, like the journal, the stop and monitor, how everything goes. Um, so yep, that's it. Do you have any questions or concerns coming to us ending, the stop and monitor, anything like that?
No,
Okay, well, once again, thank you. It's been nice working with you and, being able to get you, to meet that goal and make some progress when it comes to your anxiety. So, once again, thank you. And it was nice working with you.
you too.